Okay, so here's the laptop in question. Charger port is on the back. Original charger, 19 volts, 2.3 amps. Okay, let's just start by connecting my power supply, obviously known good charger, and see, does the charge light come on? Okay, 19 volts, 2.5 amps. Positive, negative. And the charge light does come on. Wiggle the port around a bit. It does feel a little bit loose in there, but the customer told me he has been wiggling this around for about a year, because when it loses contact, he makes some sort of a bodge job at the back to hold the cable in a certain position so the machine starts charging. So, is the problem the port, or is the problem the cable, the charge cable? Okay, switch off my power supply. Plastic is a little bit worn out on the front, but nothing too bad. I don't see any physical damage on the cable. It hasn't been chewed up by the dog. Okay, let's get a multimeter. Okay, so we get the 19 volts. We've connected the multimeter with crocodile clips, so that frees our hands to move the cable around, twist it around. So what we're looking for is if we lose that 19 volts, obviously the most common area is here at the plug. People are always twisting this around. Obviously we don't want the cables to touch, because that'll put the charger into short circuit protection mode. So far everything is looking good. Cable looks healthy. The other weak point obviously is where the cable comes out of the charger. Nope, not losing anything there. I have seen in the past where the AC cable is sort of plugged in, but not all the way. Although this one looks good. So the cable looks okay, and the port on the laptop looks okay. Okay, so plugging in the charger again. The light is flickering. Let's wobble the charger around a little bit. So, is there a break in this cable somewhere? Starting again at the beginning. Let's just move it around. Maybe he's damaged the cable. This port does feel a little bit loose, but you can imagine this guy has been this port's really loose. So either way, we need to open up the laptop. I don't know, on this model, is the charging port soldered directly into the board? I doubt it, because it wouldn't be that loose and still working. So it's probably on a cable. So maybe the charging port, the cable where it joins to the port, snapped and intimately making contact. Okay, that's the next step. Let's get the covers off. Okay, got all the screws out. This particular model looks like the top cover comes off and the keyboard and touchpad cables have to be unplugged. Okay, power button is on the keyboard. Okay, I've unplugged the keyboard. There we go. So just unplug the ribbon cable from the touchpad and the keyboard. Tiny motherboard, and there's the port in question. Looks like we can plug it and unplug it from the motherboard without taking out the motherboard. Let's just remove the Wi-Fi cables here because they're running on top of the port. So even though the port was loose, I mean, it's just sitting in a socket. None of the plastics are broken, but actually wobbling around is not gonna cause any issues. The cables on the back here do seem to be still attached. We have 2 reds, 2 blacks, so you've got double positive to the center. Plugging in the charger. Charging light. Let's try the bench power supply again. Okay. $19 volts. It's pulling 1.4 amps, so the battery is charging from our power supply. Okay, could it be that his charger actually does have a damaged cable? It's giving the 19 volts, but because of the damage it's not supplying enough amps. Okay, so what have we done here? We've created a bridge between the original port to the negative of another port, positive to positive. So just a straight bridge. That way we're going to be able to put a clamp meter around one of these cables and we're going to be able to read the amps being drawn. Plugging in the charger, charge light comes on, starts flashing. Right, let's get a clamp meter around one of these cables. 1.4 amps, and the light is stable. There we go, went down to like 100 milliamps and the light flashed. So if we move this cable around a little bit, there obviously, there we go, 150, now it's bouncing and the light's flashing. So the laptop's not getting enough. It's getting the 19 volts from the charger, but it's not getting enough amps. Down to 140 milliamps, 150 milliamps. So that's the problem. Okay, so powering on the machine. up to 2 amps. The light is on and steady. So that other adapter, which is rated at 2.3 amps, is not enough. It's probably maybe not even the right adapter for this laptop. Maybe it's for another Acer, maybe a netbook. I think this laptop needs at least a 4 amp charger. Anyway, the proof is in the pudding. This machine doesn't have a problem with the port. As you can see right now, everything's working normally. I do have a charging indicator on the battery. This laptop needs a new charger, 4 amp charger. I will speak to the customer. Maybe he's just mixed them up. Maybe he has the original charger for this laptop at home, sitting in a cupboard somewhere. So even though you have a 19 volts on the charger, doesn't always mean that the charger is good. You have to also check the amps. If the amps is not enough, you're going to have problems similar to this. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Remember, there's always a fix. We'll see you in the next video.